been a few hours, hasn't it? And now it's about 8 after 5 in the morning. And it's still Martin Luther King birthday. So happy birthday, MLK. But also, if anybody's been keeping track of the geologic anniversaries, it's the 30th anniversary of the Reseda Northridge quake. As I say Reseda because it originated from Reseda, but most of the damage they kept talking about was Northridge. So who cares about the little town of Reseda where it generated from? Just Northridge was the only place that they saw all the damage was there. No, all over the damn South Line was damaged. That was a major one. I had to sleep. I had to sleep a little bit, and I still couldn't sleep. I had to tell management what was going on through the emails. You have to keep an honest communications with management to a point. Some things they need to know, and other things, well, you try to do the best you can to not make a big deal with them or anything else because it might backfire left and right. But I try to keep an honest and open communications with management regardless. Because they know that I am crippled, they know I've got emotional issues, and they also know my brother. And I've been not exactly feeling my best during the past week or two. Well, given how grief works these days, and how mental health works these days, I don't think it's been past week, it's been God knows how long. But I'm saying the past week because this past week has passed. And I've had issues regarding the school system and then the refrigerator system have God knows what how, and then triggers here and there. One thing after another, after another, after another. You'd think I'd be able to be super efficient and be able to take care of this thing. Well, I'll tell you something. 5 or 6 years ago, yeah, I would have been. 5 or 6 years ago, if we actually had the problems with the refrigerator as we're having right now, the damn thing would have been gone already. I mean, we would have been able to take care of it. They would still be having medical issues, but I'd still be the voice and I'd still be able to take care of things. But at least I'm okay about it. I'm not okay about it because I have to take care of everything else over here. It's under my name. That's how it is. So, instead of talking about geology, instead of talking about Martin Luther King, I'm talking about current events here. As the title of the channel is, it's a diary of a mentally health challenged man. And I'm dealing with a lot of stuff. Sometimes I can actually gather my wits about me and try to be and feel a little normal. I can try to function as you've been seeing these days. When I don't function as well, I usually leave it to the audio recordings to record that kind of stuff. But I'm also trying to do a presentable face, regardless. And it sucks. I mean, this whole damn situation sucks. Yes, it does. So I've been trying to take care of things, square away things, trying to make sure that I'm feeling all right. And that for me, if I have to leave Christmas decorations in one particular area and just not take it down, I'm not going to, I'm going to let someone else bitch crap about it, and I really won't care. Because this is my place. and I'm still responsible for the cleanup. I'm still responsible for what happens. It's a hard thing for me to keep thinking about. It's a hard thing for me to keep going through. But this is it. And probably after this recording, I'll probably get to the floor and start doing that. Meanwhile, even after recording, I'm still going to be doing this, so this is going to be a short one. I just wanted to keep something of a prize in this recording of what's been going on, how I've been feeling, and times like this, when I'm not thinking about David, when I wasn't thinking about grief, when I wasn't thinking about losing Ma or anybody else, when I wasn't thinking about pain or anything else, I was thinking about horror. Out of control situations that forced me to look at things in a different light. So I might as well cover that one right now. Ever since I've been born, there have been a lot of things in life that have been out of my control. Either I accept it and I move on. The problem is I hadn't accepted and I didn't want to move on. I mean, dying on a table 3 times, never acceptable. But still, I had to move on. I'm told to move on. I'm told to move on. I'm told to accept this. You have to accept it. I couldn't accept it. I couldn't accept it. I died 3 times on a damn operating table. I had a surgeon rip off my damn chest. Gave me so much pain that I had a hell of a lot of disgust for every medical profession. Besides the fact that they're doing their jobs, their damnedest trying to keep my ass alive, and my head tells me otherwise. And I don't know, I've run into people left and right saying, don't listen to that, just get on with it, just get on with it. You have to get on with it. That's all you have to do, you gotta get on with it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it from you, whiny baby. You're a whiny baby, you're just a whiny. You're whiny, yeah. I don't want to hear from you. I want to hear good things. I want to hear that you're a tough kid. I want to hear that you're this, and I want to hear that you're that, and I want to hear about this, and I want to hear about that. I don't want to hear anything about winning. That was the attitude I kept getting from doctors and stuff. I didn't admit to my own damn mother. I had never been, during that time, during those days, able to articulate more exactly how I felt about the damn thing. I was never given the opportunity to further express or explore what it meant to me, how it meant to me, how it felt. When you're a young kid, you're grasping at a limited vocabulary. And I was. And the concept and the context, I couldn't exactly explain to the theologians. No matter how many times they tried to help, there was no comfort in it. It was just, okay, well, fine. You guys have no clue what the hell I'm talking about in the first place. You guys think it's like it's the rapture or something like that. That scared the hell out of me. Damn it, I don't want to go through this shit again. Can you not understand this damn thing? It's terrifying. It is a concept that a 4-year-old has no concept, no grasp, except that he wants to go home and he gets torn apart. He gets tossed away. A purpose that God gives a kid and doesn't even tell him what the hell's going on. It's just like, go home. Like, I don't even have a chance to be explaining what the hell's going on. No. Well, thanks a lot. Fuck you too. And maybe somewhere in there, I probably had some anger towards God at this point over here because of that shit. Because I know I had anger towards humanity, and then I probably had anger towards God. You know what anger likes to do? It likes to find a target here to pick and choose and go crazy after because it's crazy enough anyway. And a hell of a lot of fear. Because now I gotta fear God. Literally. Tried to be faithful, tried to be faithful, tried, and I kept feeling like I'm failing left and right on this. Trying to talk about it, trying to explain about it, try. Just doesn't work, does it? Never does. So it's an out of control situation. Much like accidents getting close to death anyway. An arm broken. Almost close to eating the car's tire and smashing my face. How's that grab you? A car accident. My brother puts me in. Didn't mean it. I know he didn't mean it. This shit happens. Still blame him anyway. Fuck of it. Why? Because he was the one driving. Moving fast. If Bill had been with us, maybe he would have calmed him down a little bit. Maybe. But it didn't happen. So, here we are back in the hospital again. Out of my control. And dealing with more situations like this. But I'm supposed to be brave about things like this. I'm not supposed to think about the cowardly shit. I'm not supposed to be thinking about the cowardly stuff. I'm supposed to be brave all the fucking time. Despite the fact that I came close to death again. So, I've always had an issue with out of control situations. That includes medical situations. And unfortunately, at the end of my line in my life here, I have to deal with that, and I have to come to grips with it. I have to come to closure with it. Because my life is going to be ending pretty shortly. I don't know when, but I have to come to grips with it. But until then, I still need medical maintenance on this damn body of mine. Which means I still have to be brave about it. No, I don't. I just have to be human about the damn shit. That's all I have to be is human. And that's all I am is human. Nobody else gives a shit anyway, so fuck it. So what else can I say about it? I did say about the earthquake, didn't I? 1971 rolls around, and I'm a young kid, and I still don't know what the fuck's going on. 4 or 5-year-old, or 6-year-old, getting that time period there. 5-year-old, actually. The 1971 earthquake of Sylmar. Living in an apartment, still recovering from surgery. And double bunk beds are not put together, but just side by side. You know they make pretty good bumper cars sometimes, but they're scary as hell when you're laying on top of these damn things, and they're going all over the place in an apartment complex, in a bedroom. And they're scary because the force of earth. The force of that much magnitude that was being pumped into the quake, into the fault line split, that changed a great deal of how we looked at earthquakes and damages and stuff. It gave the engineers more information. It gave the geologists more information of what to expect on major quakes, and more of the geology of the Southland. It gave them that much more intellectual knowledge and engineering expertise to say what's work and what's collapsing all around them. Meanwhile, the people in the valley itself are under threat of a dam breakage, because the water is going to be breaking from a dam. Cracks are happening, and engineers are trying to make an assessment over that, whether or not they can evacuate the valley or not. And if we actually did have a dam breakage at that time, there was no place we were going to go. We're in the second level, maybe we would have a chance. But basically, we had 3 levels in our apartment complex in North Hollywood. On Ethel and Van Owen, the apartment had a lower garage bay. And then you had large garage bay would be the street level at that point. Then the first level would be up above. We had a sunken swimming pool that would go from the kiddie range all the way over to the 6 to 8 foot range. Perfect for diving into and doing cannonballs and stuff. Perfect for drowning if you're thinking about that one. And then you had the third level. Third level was surrounding the whole complex on the outside. On the first level, there was only one apartment that actually had a patio. Only one. It overlooked the garage in the back. There was a side entrance from Ethel into the apartment, and that area would overwatch it. It was a hell of an area. It was a hell of an apartment. I love that apartment. Of course, you can see your neighbors on the other side with the chain link fence, and then also you can probably see a little bit of the street. But during that time, it was a beautiful apartment. But we didn't have that one. We had the one above it. So here it is, early in the morning. The damn earthquake's getting like crazy. My brother and I are trying to figure out how the hell to get off the damn shit, how to get off the damn beds without getting crushed. Mom's trying to tell us to get the hell out. We finally did. Got into the hallway and just hid until the earthquake stopped. My first taste of quakes. Then afterwards, a little quake here, a little quake there, a little quake here, a little quake there. It's like, so now we go up to 94. I've already had about how many years of quakes already? Within the past 20 years, I must have had about several quakes under my belt. You'd think I'd be an expert at this damn thing. You'd think I'd be an expert in how to deal with the fear factor and knowledge base concerning about earthquakes. And during that time, let's see about almost 30 years. 25, yeah. Good. But during that time, it was just small. Who cares, small? Who cares, small? Who cares? Oh, here, over here, over here, over there. Drive me crazy. Even seeing it on TV happening at the same time when you're watching the World Series. Everyone starts freaking out because they get the San Leandro kicking in. So naturally, we get an earthquake up in the San Francisco area. Major damage everywhere else. So everyone starts freaking about the San Andreas fault line, see whether or not this damn thing's going to be erupting or not. Non-stop, constant barration of earthquake preparedness, not to mention the Andreas is going to be waking up and then we're all dying. People kept saying, well, no, we're going to be going into a 10-point or 11-point Richter at this point over here, or magnitude, and feeling about the shift in the continental plates, where we're going to have part of California going into the ocean, the rest of it's going to be staying up, or we're going to be separating into another subcontinent or something like that, or an island. A lot of people have been talking about that and speculated like crazy. When a 94 quake hit, if we actually had social media during that time, people would have gone insane. on this one. It's absolutely insane. We were going insane, all right. We were going insane of fear at this point because we didn't know what the hell to expect. The building codes that we actually had were from previous earthquakes that happened, and we thought they were up to specs. Mother Nature has a way of challenging us by raising up the magnitude whenever she likes to. They had to drop it down to 6.9 because anything above the 7 point, the federal government would go broke. It was widely assumed that they would go broke, but they wouldn't cover it anyway. So the insurance companies had to pay for it, and they damn near got broke. And they stopped selling us quake insurance or limited coverages. They had to, because what we had about was billions of damages, billions of dollars of damages in the whole Southland region. We had, freeways, we had buildings, we had loss of life. We had airports almost lost capabilities. You know, the thing about Southern California is we're redundancies. We have redundancies. If under a catastrophic earthquake, like the one we had in Northridge, Van Nuys Airport would have been taken out, and so would Hollywood Burbank, unless their tarmacs were proven to be repairable. If they were, we would have 2 airports ready to go for natural disaster. Beyond the hills, we would also have to worry about whether or not we have thoroughfares to get us through. Now, assuming, of course, that the western end of San Fernando Valley actually had canyons that were cleared. They weren't. We still had damages up in the Malibu, Topanga Canyon, Agoura Hills. It was just nasty out there. Not to mention landslides along PCH that still had to fix. There would have been a small airport in Simi Valley, but not heavy enough. If we needed heavy-duty transport, and if we weren't able to get Hollywood Burbank in operation, that left Van Nuys. And if Van Nuys was inoperable, it damn near lost the tarmac. They're along Sherman Way, right by the golf course area. There's a small stretch of a tunnel, a thoroughfare right underneath the damn airport. Airport where we have landings and takeoffs all the time. And a long time ago, this place used to be for heavy-duty transport because we had C-130s and other major military aircraft. Well, we had the National Guard, California National Guard, stationed there. We had a couple of squadrons. We had a fighter squadron. We had a communications squadron. We had transports every single day of C-130s going in and out. So that tarmac had a lot of use and had taken a lot of repair work too. But the 94 did damage to it that they still had to get repair on it. So we were knocked out. Now the other major airports we would have is LAX, Long Beach. A little further away would be March Air Force Base. Up in the desert region, we would have 2 air bases. We would have Line 42, and we would have Edwards Air Force Base. Now, if we needed emergency airdrops, if we needed emergency situations going on, hopefully, National Guard or President or whoever would make the authorizations necessary for those two places to be in operation. They're both major airports for the military, for testing of aircraft, and not to mention for military use. March Air Force Base out in Riverside would cover that particular area over here, but LAX would be the only major hub out here in Southland. And then you've got the San Fernando Valley. But when the 9/4 earthquake hit, it was changing a hell of a lot of the landscape and a lot of our capabilities. So we had a hard time trying to get supplies coming in and out, but they would be coming in. Talking about all of this is trying to put it into a context and a perspective where all that advanced knowledge is supposed to be helping out with the fear factor. The problem is it doesn't help it out. No matter how much yada 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 one can hear about what one would expect, you still have the fear factor of the shaking affecting a person's psyche. There had been exercises taught by different shrinks in different people that if a quake was going to happen and you're feeling totally insecure, you would take the power of fear away from the quake, and you would say, I forget what the hell they use, some kind of terminology for the damn thing, but you're not going to scare the living crap out of me. I'm taking the power back from you. And I'm going to go 1 and 2 and 3. You're doing this on the ground, by the way. And 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8. I can be still shaking. 9. Stop already. 10, I say stop. Now, this is supposed to give you the power necessary to calm yourself down. Didn't work. I had taken a geology course or two that would give me, hopefully, some knowledge of how earthquakes worked. If I had paid attention even further on the structure of it, on the mechanisms of how the earth is working here, it would not scare the hell out of me, according to my rational thinking. It scared the hell out of me. It didn't matter what book knowledge I had concerning about the damn earthquake. I didn't have a great love for the damn thing. I had a great fear of death for this damn thing. So yeah, naturally, my blood pressure goes, and my fear factor goes, and I'm like, especially when the 9/4 earthquake kicked in. Okay, years later, here I am in the Antelope Valley. Here I am in Roseman. A few years ago, back in 2019, Ridgecrest has the Gorlick fault line. They call it a sympathetic fault line that's hooked into the San Andreas. But it can also activate itself anyway. And it did. It gave Ridgecrest a 6-pointer. That's enough to cause blood pressure and fear factors to go. But out here, about 30, 40 miles away, maybe 50 miles away, the magnitude wasn't all that much. The feeling of momentum wasn't all that much. We would feel the undulation of the ground a little bit. We'd feel a little bit of the shaking. But it wasn't enough to do any damage or anything else over here. Just over there at Ridgecrest. Because we would see the pictures afterwards on social media, not to mention in the regular media, of how the ground was deformed, what kind of energy we were dealing with there, And that was a lot of energy. A 6 point on the magnitude or even on the momentum. So yeah, that did give me problems to think about. Anywhere on this planet, we're going to have earthquakes. We're going to have geologic activity. Doesn't matter where. Doesn't matter how. We're going to have it. I have to live with that. I have to accept that. So it's something out of my hands. And right now, what's out of my hands is expecting another quake to happen to put me through in that pace where I'm like, not quite sure how to deal with it. I'm trying to learn how not to deal with it. I have enough issues on my plate as it is. I don't think going over earthquake year after year after year has helped me a great deal. In 2 more years, it's going to be 40 years since that earthquake hit. A lot longer for the 71 earthquake to have me affected. I'm not talking about the 4 or 5 pointers I've had since then, or almost the 6 pointers. They're nothing. The 2 major events I had in my life, geologically speaking, was the 71 earthquake and then the 94 earthquake. But I can't tell you what my experience is going to be and what I'm going to be reacting to, especially when we get another one coming up. I don't know when, I don't know where, I don't know how big. We'll get one another. The Earth has its way of doing things, and we just are not privy to the knowledge of how much and when. I wish to God we were. So a lot of us don't go.